Hi, I'm Cesar Santos. Artists work within a system to further develop a specific concept. Let me show you what I have done. Coming up with a series of works is necessary as an artist, because only then you can focus on a theme to develop in depth. Staying consistent with a bigger idea motivates me to create more. That's why I produce a lot of work, because I get fixated with a subject and I realize that each individual painting is not supposed to fulfill the end goal. It's just another stepping stone towards it. My first series was in high school. It was a bunch of self-portraits. I was trying different techniques and different styles. I guess I was looking for my inner voice. I was learning the language of art. One day I was given a participation trophy, and that really got me upset because I was competitive and I didn't like the idea of people feeling bad for me because I lost. I tried capturing that in the painting. I guess for this series, I was looking to represent my different states of mind, different moods. After high school, I started experimenting with photography and paint. I was looking to capture the energy of my subject through my manipulation of their environment. I would select family members for this series. I was in a transitional period and was really frustrated with school. I was frustrated with the way they were not teaching me how to paint. So I took it as an inspiration to produce. This was before the academy, but after my academic training in Italy, I started doing a series of still life paintings in the manner I was trained, but adding my own twist. I was telling a story through my selection of objects as a metaphor for life. Thinking of my Cuban nostalgia, my first painting was called Fallen Dictator, representing a flower pot containing flowers falling and liberating the flowers to be free or to grow by themselves. Or Prohibit Love, where an egg is in love with a flower, but because of natural circumstances, they cannot be together. After that, I did a series called Museum Interior, where I explored the idea of art about art, or better said, about the current state of the arts. I was playing with absurd ideas and imagining situations in the contemporary art museums. Like when I put all these cows in an exhibition by Rothko, and I titled that painting "In the Museum." Or like when I painted myself helping out, giving some tips to the Picasso's guitar player. I targeted Picasso a few times because he's such an iconic figure. I couldn't resist. I realized that my technique was suffering and I wanted to advance with my voice, but my paint application needed to get stronger. That's when I first started to get inspired by the human figure. I would get friends and family and attempt to tell a narrative through their dramatic poses. After the Arrival presents a raft in a jacuzzi, showing me and my friends as immigrants. On the beach is a figure sleeping and clouds formation are echoing his figure in the sky. Or when my nephew became the model for an assembly of babies arranged as archetypal figures of society. From there, I moved to my series Syncretism, which is a more in-depth exploration of artistic tendencies playing together. It was a reconciliation of all the isms of the last century, coexisting and being linked with the same definition as being art. One of the main principles here was to have my figures as an element of the range for communication. My figures would be combined with a variety of points of views and expressions. Instead of art about art, was more like art about art movements, being myself in the middle of both worlds, the classical and the contemporary. I took a break to develop a series of landscapes. I was living in New York and felt the need to reconnect with nature. So I went to the Hudson River for a month to get inspiration with a group of artists and study nature by hiking and painting on site. I then started to compose scenes from imagination but with a real representation, meaning I'll never be in these places, but I could definitely imagine being in them. In 2012, I acquired the mannequin of the Italian master Pietro Annigoni. I was so inspired that I started to create a series based on the idea of giving life to these mannequins and put them in contrast with the female figure. I was searching for the possibility that since the mannequins don't have heads, the viewer will add his own mindset to the mannequin. I would set them in an environment not specific or not recognizable to influence the viewer's thoughts. One day I was trying to paint a portrait of my parents in a photorealistic style, which is a style I was never into because my ambition as an artist technically was to paint as the old masters, not to just imitate a photo reference. I presented my father in his job, adding every detail conceivable, even adding the depth of field, the out of focus feeling in the background from the photo reference. As I was painting a portrait of my mom doing laundry, my inner child came out and I started, with crayon in hand, doodling on the painting. After that, I started merging the stereotypical expression of a child's drawings to interplay with my sitters. My current paintings are being born out of my love for sketchbooks. My sketchbook pages, with their formats, their combination of loose abstract works against highly explored painting process and refinement, the writing, the sketchiness, the love for mixing flesh colors. This series is about the idea of a page extracted as a concept, to create a series of paintings exploring the purity I feel in the process of picture making, which in a way encapsulates the whole process of my development. Let's wrap this video up. I have so many series, but just one common goal: to develop my voice as an artist, to live the life that I love.